She had spent years working tirelessly, earning respect through her skill and dedication. But none of that mattered the moment he walked in. The doctor barely glanced at her before tearing her down, his words sharp, dismissive, humiliating. The patient watched in silence, their expression unreadable. But what the doctor didn't know, that patient wasn't just anyone, and his cruelty was about to come back to haunt him. What happened next left the entire hospital in shock and made him regret every word. For Nurse Maya, the hospital wasn't just a workplace, it was a second home. 12-hour shifts, exhausted feet, but a heart full of purpose. She had earned her respect through years of dedication, comforting the sick, guiding the anxious, proving her worth in a world that too often questioned it. But today felt different. A new doctor had joined the team, Dr. Whitman. His reputation preceded him, brilliant but arrogant. Maya had dealt with egos before, but something about the way he looked at her, barely acknowledging her presence, sent a chill through her. Then came the moment that changed everything. A high-profile patient arrived, someone important, but Maya had no idea just how important. Maya stood by the patient's bedside, checking vitals, her movements steady and precise. She had done this 1,000 times before, but today she felt the weight of Dr. Whitman's eyes on her, cold, dismissive, judging. The tension had been simmering all morning. Short, clipped instructions, no eye contact, no acknowledgement. When she spoke, he barely responded. And when he did, his tone was sharp, like he was speaking to someone beneath him. Then it happened. "Step aside, doctor," Whitman snapped, snatching the patient's chart from her hands. "I'll handle this." Maya stiffened. She was the attending nurse. The patient, an elderly man with kind eyes, watched the exchange silently. "I've already taken his vitals," Maya said, her voice measured. "And the specialist requested a specific—" Dr. Whitman cut her off with a laugh. A laugh, a sharp exhale that sent heat rushing to her face. "Right, because I need a lesson from the nurse." His voice dripped with sarcasm. A few interns standing nearby shifted awkwardly, pretending not to hear. They had seen this before, but no one ever said anything. Maya swallowed the humiliation burning in her throat. She had worked too hard for this, but before she could speak, Dr. Whitman smirked. "Honestly, I don't even know why they let—" He stopped himself, but the damage was done. The words he didn't say were louder than the ones he did. Silence filled the room. The patient looked between them, his expression unreadable. Then he did something unexpected. He cleared his throat, sat up straighter, and with a slow, deliberate voice he asked, "Doctor, do you even know who I am?" The air in the room shifted. For the first time, Dr. Whitman looked uncertain. Dr. Whitman scoffed, crossing his arms. "Should I?" he said, his voice laced with sarcasm. The patient didn't flinch. Instead, he reached for the call button. But not for help. Within seconds, the door swung open. A senior administrator and 2 security officers stepped in. Their expressions were unreadable, but the shift in power was undeniable. Dr. Whitman's smirk faded. "Dr. Whitman," the administrator began, her voice calm but firm. "Meet Mr. Charles Bennett." A pause. Confusion flickered across Whitman's face. That name, it meant something. "Founder of this hospital," she continued, "and one of the country's most respected civil rights attorneys." Silence. The intern stood frozen. Maya's heart pounded. Dr. Whitman's face drained of color. "I've spent my life fighting discrimination," Bennett said, his voice steady but sharp. "And now I see it happening right in front of me, by someone wearing the very coat I fought to give people like you the right to wear." Whitman opened his mouth, but no words came out. What could he possibly say? Bennett exhaled, shaking his head. "Tell me, doctor, if this is how you treat your colleagues, how do you treat your patients?" The question hung in the air like a final verdict. Dr. Whitman stood there, speechless. The weight of Mr. Bennett's words settled over the room like a heavy fog. There was no arguing, no excuse that could erase what had just happened. The administrator turned to Maya. "Nurse Maya, we deeply appreciate your dedication. You deserve far more respect than what you received today. The words were validating, but the damage had been done. Maya wasn't surprised by what had happened. She was just tired of it. Dr. Whitman was placed under immediate review. Some said it was unfair. Others whispered that he had been exposed for what he truly was. But the truth? This wasn't just about one doctor. It was about a system where people like Maya had to fight twice as hard just to be seen as equal. As for Mr. Bennett, he had seen enough injustice in his lifetime. But today he had the power to make sure something changed. His official complaint would lead to mandatory anti-bias training across the hospital, ensuring that no other nurse, no other person, would be dismissed the way Maya had been. Maya remained professional, as always, but deep inside, a familiar question burned. Why does it always take someone important watching for people to finally care? Because for every Maya, there are thousands of others, thousands whose voices go unheard, whose dignity is stripped away, one small moment at a time. So, the real question is, how many more times before we finally change?